This woman shares a testimony about how finding out that Beyonce was a witch led her to Jesus Christ. Check this out.
In 2018, I took an Uber home from work, and this Nigerian Uber driver asked me if I knew the Lord, and I said, of course, man, I grew up in church, I know Jesus. And then he says to me, did you know that Beyonce is a witch? And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And mind you, I was a huge Beyonce fan at the time. I never heard nothing like that in my life. I thought it was so crazy. I thought he was crazy. But for some reason, when I got out that car, that stuck with me. So I went home, I started Googling, YouTubing. I went down this deep rabbit hole where I'm running into all these video evidence of her being a witch and being involved in witchcraft. And that turned me all the way off. And then I started seeing all these videos about near-death experiences, about how the devil is real, about how Jesus is real. And it blew my mind. I always had these doubts deep in my heart of Jesus' existence, but I'd never professed it out of my mouth. And I never dared to say that because I didn't want to disappoint my mom. I didn't want to disappoint my family. But I knew deep down that I had some doubt that he was real or not, because I didn't see him, never heard him, didn't know that he was legit, like for real, for real. And so in that moment, when I came to the realization that the devil was real, I literally, it was like 2 a.m. in my bedroom. My husband's asleep, the kids asleep. And I hear, and I said to myself, oh my God, if the devil is real, then that must mean Jesus is real. And in that moment, I heard the voice of a man and I seen a vision. And I thought I was going crazy because I'm like, man, I've been watching these videos for hours. Like, am I hearing things? And I see this vision. It looks like a movie. The best way I could describe it, in front of me. And it's my high school graduation. And I see, it was just like it was yesterday. I see everybody on the bleachers. We're excited. It's a great day. I remember that day it was really hot outside. And I see this huge male figure sitting behind the crowd on the bleachers. He had a robe. He looked like he was Middle Eastern. He had shoulder-length curly hair and a beard. Basically what we perceive Jesus to look like. I see this huge man in this vision sitting behind this crowd of people watching me graduate. And I heard the voice of God. It's like somehow in my existence, I knew that it was God's voice. Even though I didn't know him, I knew somehow I knew this was God talking to me. And he said, even though your father wasn't there, I was always there. And I started bawling, crying. I literally wept for hours.
Wow. So here we have proof that exposing this type of evil is fruitful and leads people to Jesus Christ, which is why Ephesians 5:11, the Bible tells us to expose this type of evil. Now, a few things pop out to me about this testimony, powerful testimony. The first thing is she said that her Uber driver that told her that Beyonce is a witch was Nigerian. Interestingly enough, Nigeria is in West Africa, and this spiritualism that Beyonce and her family practices originates from West Africa. So it makes sense that this Uber driver would know the truth about what's going on. The next thing is she said that she was a huge fan of Beyonce, but had no idea Beyonce was a witch, even though it's all over Beyonce's videos and in her music. But somehow she was blinded to the reality of what Beyonce was involved in. That is extremely scary, my friends. That shows us that people are blinded. They are blinded in plain view and sight of what is going on. They have been turned over to a strong delusion, and this is exactly how Satan operates. He will put it right in your face. Meanwhile, you're so numb, you're so desensitized that you don't even see for yourself. And it's just the fact that Beyonce and her family is involved in this witchcraft, you know, this West African spiritualism, this worship of these deities. Outside of Beyonce's own music confessing it, her sister Solange recently posted this image on her Instagram. This is one of the deities they worship, and she made an altar and a shrine to give worship to this deity. Not gonna say the name, but here it is. And in one of Beyonce's songs, she makes reference to this exact deity and confirms that this is the deity that her sister worships. And bottom line is, if we are listening to Beyonce's music and going to her concerts, we are opening ourselves up to the demons that are operating in her life. Now, I have a testimony of an ex-warlock who used to shop at this specific witchcraft store. And he said he would always see the noses in there shopping, that they did a lot of witchcraft. I also have a writing from the early church that proves that if we listen to these secular artists and their secular music, that we are being imparted with the same demons that helped them create this music. We're going to get into it. We're going to expose it, and I'm going to show you guys, but you're going to have to head over to my Patreon page where you can view the full and uncensored version of this video. I'll leave the link in the description. I'll also leave the link right here. Head over right now, subscribe. I'll see you guys there. God bless you guys, and take care.